here we're going to talk about the root causes of that. So the misaligned value proposition to their current pains, it happens very often that salespeople jump into conclusions very, very fast, and those conclusions are like, oh, this is what they need, without having a very good discovery call. They jump into offering a solution which very often is not a solution. There is timing. If you've given me $1 every time I hear like, oh, please come back in 3 weeks, please come back in 5 weeks, please, we're not ready yet, and very often it happens without timelines. So people tell you come later, but they don't tell you when to come back later. And internal priority shifts, maybe they decide to do that thing in-house, or they decided to do it with another vendor. That's a very important thing. Internal champion energy. So your internal champion has to be, always on in very heightened spirits, like as if you've given your champion some cocaine, like, so that champion needs to be very enthusiastic about your solution, whatever you're selling. And probably the last one would be here: the buyers feel sold and not helped. So now consultative sales are like a strategy that everyone more or less is using, and people don't want to be sold, but they love to buy. I'd like to buy a hat, but I don't want to be sold a hat, right? In this case. And there is one more root cause. I was recently consulting a company, and there was an interesting case. They told me, I was like, why are you guys losing? Why did you guys lose this deal? And he said they were pampering a client for 6 months, so 6 months of visits, yada 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 events, and then they lost basically the deal to a much bigger opponent, like let's say $1 billion company. And I asked, why did you guys lose? He said, well, they're in the same building, so they're literally in the same building with your account. So don't that's like that. I like to call that unorthodox or like, let's say, untraditional decision criteria. You have to really research your accounts before you go all into them. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Again, the cost of dormant accounts. So there is direct financial loss, there is sunk cost of acquisition. You've put some money obviously into acquiring them, and that's not there.